7959.
With the power of Tandem HR, you are in the fast lane on Main Street with Get Down to Business with Shalom Klein, the show for business and jobs. Now, the champion of networking, the advocate of jobs, the guru of business, your host, Shalom Klein.
Alan Kay said the best way to predict the future is to invent it. We are all about small business, jobs, and entrepreneurship and business. We talk a lot about business here. You are on with Get Down to Business, and I'm your host, Shalom Klein. Remember, you can always download podcasts from Get Down to Business on my website at shalomklein.com. And while you are there, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Shalom Klein. It's going to be a jam-packed week of content and information you won't want to miss. It's a live show. That's right. You could call us with your questions at 312-642-5600. Even just call and say hello. This week, we'll be joined by guest Amy Shivvers from Crains Chicago Business, Bruce Leon from Tandem HR, and Alan Lefkowitz from Property Tax Law, along with the new Playmakers Spotlight. And I'll be sharing some tips for you entrepreneurs out there on how you can find investors for your fantastic business idea. That's right. You're listening to Get Down to Business. I'm your host, Shalom Klein, and I'd love to meet you at our free healthcare summit and small business event taking place on November 10th at Drury Lane. That's right. It's a free event. You can register at thebusinessevent.com. It's taking place on November 10th. There's going to be a workshop for everyone and tons of networking. You don't want to miss it. Register online right away for this free event, thebusinessevent.com. So first up on the program, thrilled to be joined by my friend Amy Shivvers from Crains. Amy, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Thrilled to be here.
So most of our listeners, I'd venture to say almost all of our listeners know about Crains Chicago Business and the important material covering really everything business, including small business, which is very important to our listeners, that probably comes in their mailbox. But what many of our listeners don't know is that it's actually taking place in person, too. And Amy, probably you can explain a thing or two what I mean by that, about the events that are now taking place, because you are the brains. So, Amy, tell us about some of the recent programs that have taken place.
Sure. Well, I really appreciate being on the show. And, Crains Chicago Business is the largest producer of local executive knowledge programming, and we host 15 to 20 events annually. And this year, we're really excited because we have launched Crains Academy, which is all about professional and leadership development. And this is post-academic, kind of a hybrid model that brings the best of professional growth, personal development, business and leadership best practices, and then a lot of civic outreach.
So, Amy, I had an opportunity to see a one-pager with a list of the Crains Leadership Academy graduates, and there are some pretty incredible names from many firms that I'm certainly familiar with, and the schedule looked pretty intense and very, very impressive. The Leadership Academy, what does the program actually look like?
Sure, thank you. We had 44 graduates for the inaugural program, and we did have an amazing eclectic group of companies go through it. And it's a 6-session program which took place over 8 weeks, and it's booked in with a full-day Saturday, and then again concluding with a full-day Saturday. And then in between, we have 4 half-day Friday sessions, which include discovery sessions as well. And again, it's really this amazing hybrid where we're taking high potential, high rising stars within an organization, and they're each nominated by their senior management team within their company. So it's a real select group, and we limit it to a certain number of candidates to go through it. And so we really are focusing on experiential leadership development, and that includes discovery sessions, guest CEOs, a lot of reading materials and assessments, workshops. But at the end of the day, it's really about the networking that happens, and it's the cross-section of industries within a room.
And the Leadership Academy gives access to these aspiring and professionals and leaders in our community, as it's called, the Leadership Academy, that people may otherwise not have access to. Some of the names over here I see. Kate, the executive director and CEO of the Greater Chicago Food Depository, Tony Preckwinkle, Cook County Board President, all came in to speak to this group, and very, very impressive. So, Amy, when is the next cohort launching?
Sure. So nomination is open right now. If you go to www.crainsacademy.com, you will see our homepage for the academy, and in the programming we have our leadership academy, which starts on February 20th. And again, nominations are open now, and we encourage people to get involved. Again, we really are looking for the CEO of a company or your direct manager to nominate you, and we will be closing nomination period at the beginning of January. So we really like to see kind of with a lot of lead time where we're at with the programming and who is being nominated, et cetera, because, again, we want a really nice mix of industries. And then our newest program is our Crains Career Launch, which is targeting recent college graduates. And the idea is where college ends and career begins. And that program is a full-day program on Wednesday, January 6th. And that's very exciting, too. And, again, it's under the new division of Crains Academy. And we're really there to help them find, their career. They have their college education, they're motivated, and now we want to really help set them into the right direction with job market primer and career strategies and a lot of networking, as we mentioned, really making those right connections and developing their interpersonal skills. So,
will there be opportunities for mentoring those individuals that are coming through the career launch program of the Crains Academy?
That's a great point. Right now, it's just a one-day program, and it's brand new. So we're all about trying new things. It's a 10-hour program on January 6th, and we will have hiring managers and career coaches, HR directors there on site. So there'll be one-on-one interaction, and there'll be Q&A and presentations. And to your point, I think there will be some just organic mentoring that happens, but this program currently is not set up where there's an ongoing mentoring program. But I like the idea. It could grow into that.
Well, it's very impressive because, as our listeners surely know, I actually asked one of our guests last week, has the economy improved? And her answer, which was so spot on, was yes, for those that have been hired. And the reality is that for recent college grads, that's probably the demographic that continues to struggle more than anybody else. Many other people have slowly but surely found their positions. And this idea of having that job market primer, the career strategies, teaching those interpersonal skills, and really setting people up with the right connections and training people how to network for the job search is really, really crucial. So, Amy Shivvers from Crains, now from Crains Academy, how can people learn about both of those programs, the Career Launch as well as the Leadership Academy as well?
Sure. So the easiest is just to go to www.crainsacademy.com. And this is the hub. This is where all the Academy programming and information is located. When you get to the site, you'll see a tab specifically for Crains Launch, which again is targeting the recent grads or soon-to-be grads, and then the leadership program. And it's easy to maneuver the site. For the career, for the Leadership Academy programming, we actually have video testimonials from some of our 44 graduates. So it's fun to watch those videos. Some of the takeaways have, really been very moving and emotional, and their feedback and how they felt about the program and the takeaways. And we're staying in touch with everybody, and now we're having alumni programs associated with the Leadership Academy. So
there's certainly value in that as well, the ability to have that cohort for that ongoing networking. So all of our listeners, I encourage you to check out crainsacademy.com, where you can learn about both of the programs, the Leadership Academy as well as the Career Launch program. Very, very impressive. And Amy, one final question for you. For the CEOs that might be listening to this program, how should they know if somebody in their organization is a good fit for this program?
Mm-hmm. Well, Great question. I think that if you're close to your employees and your senior managers, that's going to be super helpful in making the decision. But we had people with titles of managers and directors and senior VPs, kind of an array. But again, most people were like 28 to 42 years old, in that range, and they really had stepped up. They really had sort of raised their hand and said, look, count me in. I'm here for the long run.
Very impressive.
I really want to be part of the management team.
Well, Amy, we're just about out of time. Appreciate your introduction to the Crains Academy. Once again, you can learn more at crainsacademy.com. Get Down to Business is powered by Tandem HR, your solution center. You can find them at tandemhr.com or call 630-928-0510. You can also email them, simplify@tandemhr.com. Coming up, we're going to check in with executive business coach and award-winning Vista Chair, Dick Smith. Thanks, Amy, from Crains, for joining us. Check them out, crainsacademy.com.